Hello and welcome back to yet another Let's Play channel. After the rather spectacular failure of Zone of the Enders 2, etc., I was sort of at a loss for what to try next, but I remembered that we had a good time. Well, I had a good time. I don't recall anybody else noticing. I had a good time playing the Frogwares Cthulhu game, whose name escapes me. The Sinking City, that's what it was. And I remembered that Frogwares also had this Sherlock Holmes series, which I believe is now a trilogy. Thought about playing the new one. Didn't have it installed. Didn't have this one installed either, but I did have the Devil's Daughter, I think. But I decided that release order was going to be the right way to go. So here we are, looking at, I assume that's Sherlock, having himself a little smoke by the window. Looks like a delightful evening. This is my kind of weather. I do not live in the right part of the world for that weather, which might be why I enjoy it. Anyway, let's get into it. Crimes and punishments. I'm not sure what the Ukrainian Heavenly 100 are. So that's a pretty standard cast of characters for a Holmes story. I'm expecting this to be mechanically sort of similar to The Sinking City. We might see some differences because Sherlock probably isn't going to go insane if he looks at monsters too long. And he probably won't need to scavenge ammunition either. Dostoevsky. And a gunshot. Typical Holmes behavior.
Holmes.
Yeah, I guess we'll do that.
Holmes, will you stop that?
Yeah. Okay.
You are utterly mad.
I'm enjoying this so far.
Stop, Holmes!
Is that you, Watson?
Yes, of course it is. And you almost killed me.
Nonsense. I was aiming for the vases.
Blindfolded?
Watson, quiet, please. I'm trying to concentrate.
It's Lestrade.
Ah, Lestrade. What is it this time?
He can see me. Well, here it is, and it's a good one, Mr. Holmes. A gentleman by the name of Peter Carey, also known as Black Peter, has been murdered.
A sailor, most probably.
What happened here?
Oh, Mr. Holmes, how could you?
It's the only exercise I've had all week. A grateful client from Limoges sent me a vase collection this morning. I couldn't think of a better use for it.
You're out of your mind.
I missed 4 out of 10.
Given you were blindfolded, that was very good. Can I have a try?
Am I the only sane one here?
I
Usually.
suppose that Watson is right, Inspector. A little brain work would be preferable now. Do please tell us more about Black Peter.
Peter Carey, born in 1845 and 50 years old. An ambitious sort, he achieved much success in seal and whale hunting around Scandinavia. Retired in 1884 with a small fortune. He invested his money in a property called Woodman's Lee, near Forest Row in Sussex. It was where he lived for 6 years, and where he was found dead yesterday.
Has the investigation already begun?
Yes and no. In fact, this crime is so mysterious that I would prefer you to join me down there.
Give me half an hour to prepare, Inspector.
Take your time and join me there. I have to go through the yard first. The Medi men struck again.
What have they done this time?
They robbed a powder reserve. I'll meet you at Woodman's Lee, Mr. Holmes.
I should help Mrs. Hudson here. I also have several appointments that I must keep this afternoon.
I shall go alone then.
All right, what a lovely start. Okay, so this is my journal. Yeah, this is all familiar so far. Map of London. We already know what the victim looks like. That's cool. So yeah, I'm going to stick with my hypothesis that this is going to be pretty close to before. I need to turn down the mouse sensitivity real quick. Let's go with 20. Thank you. Yeah, I think that's tolerable for now.
My analysis table. It is useful for my work.
Look at that. Okay. And, oh, punching bag. Can I punch? I can't punch.
You go along to Peter Carey's house. Mrs. Hudson and I will take care of the mess you've made here.
Thanks, Watson. You're a dear. And you are a lady.
Oh, what a mess! What a terrible mess!
And nobody seems to be at all concerned about bullet holes. That's rather interesting. Yeah, there's no reason to believe that a projectile out of that revolver wouldn't overpenetrate a vase.
My archive. I can always consult with it, if needed.
Your archive is a... No, okay, the archive is the books.
This is where I keep my post.
I'm going to start doing that. For real. I need a cool dagger. Send me a cool dagger, if you're a fan. Send me a cool dagger if you're not a fan. You can keep the threatening note.
I cannot leave yet. I am not finished here.
No? Do you need to... Oh, you need to get dressed. Duh. Where are we going to do that? Can I go through either of these other doors? Yeah, here we go. Okay. You know, Holmes, it's a little rude to keep the main room so filthy and your own room so not. Okay, let's check out the wardrobe. No morning gown. Well, that would be funny. It's pretty hard to tell those colors in the dark, isn't it? Bandit outfit, farmer outfit. What does locked mean? Why are they all locked? Let's go cash. Oh. What are we standing on, Holmes? We're... Okay. Alright, well, he put on a suit, so I guess we can live with that. What do we got over here? Random bust of somebody. Alright, let's get out of here. Can I go invade Watson's private space? Yes, I can. A study of cigar and cigarette ash. It's funny that we're playing this. Not too long ago, I read an article about how in the recent past, we've put too much stock in various forensic so-called sciences, many of which are now discredited. And it's likely that we're going to make reference to a number of those discredited sciences over the course of the game. I am not going to pick them apart. Probably.
Mr. Holmes, I'm over here. Come on.
And who are those peoples over there? Alright, we got footprints. Can I... There we go. Okay.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
That's all you gathered from that? Alright, well, let's talk to Lestrade. Wait,
It seems that the garden was well maintained.
right? Okay, so I think that is green because I already did it. I should probably talk to Lestrade first.
Mr. Holmes?
Yeah. We'll talk to Lestrade and then we'll get back to poking around. I guess we're outside the city.
Mr. Holmes?
I thought you were Lestrade. Where is he? That's not him. Is he further in? Oh, that's him in the bowler. He wouldn't be in uniform because he's the inspector. There we go.
Inspector Lestrade, when will you remove my husband's body? It's sacrilegious to leave him here like this.
As soon as we can, Mrs. Carey, I assure you. Allow me to introduce you to Mr. Sherlock Holmes. He's a detective. No doubt you've heard of him. I'll wait for you in front of the cabin, Mr. Holmes.
My condolences, Mrs. Carey.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
The
Madam,
usual questions.
Can you tell me if you saw or heard anything unusual upon the night of the murder?
At 2 o'clock in the morning, I heard a terrible scream. But I thought nothing of it then. He would scream all the time when he was drunk.
Can you please tell me what occurred on the evening of the murder?
Well, Peter got drunk in the evening. He was in such a terrible temper. Usually whenever that happened, he'd stay all night drinking in his cabin before passing out.
Sounds like a cool dude.
Do you remember at what time you found your husband's body?
In the morning, at around 7 o'clock, I noticed the cabin door was open, but I didn't go in to take a look, for I knew my husband would not have liked it. At around 10 o'clock, I dared to glance in through the door and... oh dear.
I wonder how much I'm supposed to be paying attention to her behaviors.
Was your husband accustomed to receiving visitors?
Oh, no, I don't think so. I mean, he didn't really have many friends. He lived quite an isolated life here, after his retirement.
The garden is very large and well maintained. Do you employ someone to look after it?
It is true, there is a lot of work, but my husband took care of it himself.
Ah. So... yes, it's a birdhouse. How far can we go here? Is that it? Is there more for me to find here? Oh, okay, we can... And then... Crested tit.
You have indeed suffered a great loss, Mrs. Carey. Nevertheless, I believe it will be less of a burden for you soon.
Yes. Life with Peter was never easy, but he was still my husband.
He was different, wasn't he, when you first met him upon your return from Plymouth?
Yes, Mr. Holmes. Oh, my goodness, but how do you know about that?
You undertook a pilgrimage to the Cathedral of Santiago de Compostela when you were young. That much is evident from the rosary in your hand. The shortest route for the pilgrim from England to Spain is from Plymouth. I believe that you met Peter Carey as a young sailor there, and you married him soon afterwards.
That is indeed what happened, Mr. Holmes. How extraordinary.
Cool.
Thank you, madam.
Well, that's satisfying. I quite enjoy that. Why was there a... So I guess now we do the survivor sense thing and have a look around. Do we need to go catch up with Lestrade again? Or is there more poking about that I should be doing? Sherlock very thoughtfully refused to leave before he was ready. I wonder if we're going to get any such hints regarding things we ought to be paying attention to in the game. Oh, okay, so it just distorts the sounds. That's kind of upsetting. Evidence required.
These footprints appear to be quite large.
Okay, so there's some other thing that I need to find with regard to that. Alright, Lestrade.
Peter Carey's body is inside the cabin. We took care not to touch anything.
Excellent.
The door is locked.
Wait just a moment, Mr. Holmes, and I'll open it. I locked it yesterday to ensure that no one should enter the cabin and tamper with the evidence.
Ah, good thinking.
Hello, hello, hello.
What is it, Lestrade?
It seems to me that someone has tried to force it, Mr. Holmes.
Let me see.
Lock picking. Yeah, that looks lockpicky to me. Mm-hmm.
These scratches are fresh. You're right. Someone tried to force open the door.
I swear these scratches were not here yesterday.
Our mysterious visitor came here last night.
Well, he's not the man for the job. This lock is not a difficult one.
Perhaps he did not have the right tool.
Great. Another little datum. Oh.
What a terrible way to die.
Terrible and unusual. Pierced chest.
The weapon fully penetrated the body. The force of the blow was immense.
Sort of blow that might be dealt by somebody with large feet.
This man is in his 50s, yet he still looks quite strong. Peter Carey was fully dressed. He was not caught by surprise. It is possible that he knew his murderer.
Well, he wasn't asleep. He could have been caught by surprise.
JHN are probably the initials of the owner of this notebook.
Interesting.
The pattern of the blood stain indicates that the notebook was not lying on the floor prior to the crime, but it was dropped into the pool of blood after the death of Peter Carey.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
These abbreviations mean something, but what?
Tasty.
This blood is from the pool underneath the dead body. This wooden handle is plain and solid. Peter Carey tried to defend himself with this knife, but he did not succeed.
Alrighty. What does this do? Ah, this is the Mind Palace thing. Okay, so it is quite similar so far. That's good. Am I done with the...
Peter Carey was impaled to the wall by a whaling harpoon.
I'm betting there's a place for that to be hung somewhere here. Like right there. Come on.
Old navigation instruments, nothing interesting. Peter Carey's boots. They look to be a size 8.
Do they...
The murder weapon was probably taken from this rack.
Yeah, do they fit the prints outside? Big ol' empty spot.
Tooth of a sperm whale, probably from one of Peter Carey's catches.
And is that it? I think that's it. Suspiciously empty space. There we go.
This place is not covered with dust, like the rest of the shelf. An object was taken from here. It was larger than a book, a box or a small chest, perhaps.
Tasty. Man, he's got those sperm teeth all over the place.
The ship's logs of the Sea Unicorn for the years 1878 to 1884. Peter Carey was her captain. The
Oh,
ship's
is that it?
logs
Yeah,
of the
okay.
Sea Unicorn.
We don't need to say that again. Tobacco. Peter
The
Carey.
initials PC have been crudely burned. A sailor's work.
Is it empty? It's not empty.
This aroma is familiar, but to recognize it, I must construct my associations in one picture.
Okay, so we got a puzzle. What is going on here? Oh. Well, isn't that cute? And where do we put it? I haven't got these lined up quite right. Let's see here. How close do I have to get it? There we go. Okay.
Yes. This is a coarse tobacco,
Neat.
quite strong and very popular among sailors.
Two glasses.
Someone drank from this glass recently. Rum, a sailor's drink. It seems that Captain Carey was enjoying a drink before he met his death.
He was drinking with a fellow sailor. What do we got here? Anything? Alrighty. Can I do this part now? Those are
These
not his
boots
footprints.
don't match the footprints.
Okay. That thing looks like a monster. By thing, I mean tree. So what do we got? Break-in attempts. Notebook. Okay.
Someone was here yesterday. They attempted to force the door to gain entry.
Am I done with mind palacing? I am not. Alright, well let's leave it since we have something actionable.
Well, Mr. Holmes, what do you think?
I think that we are lucky
And why is that?
because of last night's attempted break-in.
Oof, you've lost me.
It is very probable that whoever came here hoped to find the door open. They tried to force it with a knife blade, but they failed. What will they do? Why, return tonight, when they will be better prepared.
Aha! So what do you propose?
We shall remain on the outside, near the window, where we stand the best chance of catching sight of our visitor. Well, gentlemen, ready your pistols. We have a long night ahead of us.
I think there's something I neglected to check in here.
The Sea Unicorn. She was the ship that Peter Carey commanded.
Alright, I guess I can't check on the fact that that fireplace has been burning all this time.
Dundee. Hammerfest. It's a whaling map.
Maybe now we're done. So,
Need to find a good place for an ambush. Perhaps behind Carey's cabin, near the window.
yeah, this looks decent.
This looks like the perfect hiding place.
Okay, and we're off to Ambush Town. What's in your hand, Lestrade?
Shh! Did you hear that? There's someone there. I'm gonna collar him.
I'll be right behind you.
Police! Hold it right there!
Well, isn't this a treat? Good work.
Mr. Holmes. All right, my fine fellow. Who are you and what are you doing here?
You're detectives, I suppose. You imagine that I'm connected with the death of Captain Carey. I assure you I'm innocent.
Innocent? And what are you doing in his cabin?
Shall I tell you? You came to retrieve what you had lost after killing Peter Carey.
Check
but
out his
we
hands.
were here, waiting for you.
What is your name?
John Hopley Nelligan, but I didn't...
Do you deny that you came here yesterday?
No, but yes, it's just that I couldn't...
I'm tired of this. Off we go to the yard. Tomorrow, I'll see that you're put in front of the judge.
What? But you can't! I'm not... It's a terrible mistake!
Enough! You can explain all of that to the judge. You're coming with me to the yard.
But...
In light of recent events, it seems evident that your coming here was unnecessary. All the same, I'm very grateful to you, Mr. Holmes.
You are welcome, Inspector. But please don't be too hard on our young fellow. I would like to question him tomorrow morning.
Okay, good. We're not done with it. If this is a Holmes, it's going to turn out either that it is him, but he's almost going to get away with it, or it really isn't him. Examine Nelligan's belongings.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. Can I help you?
Good morning, Constable. I would like to speak to the fellow who was arrested at Woodman's Lee last night.
Ah, the young man. He's waiting in the interrogation room. You can go straight through. His belongings are held in the evidence room.
Thank you.
Great. So easy. Guess I can't go upstairs, though. So... Staff room. Evidence room. Let's do that first. These are them here. Convenient.
These are the suspect's belongings.
Wait,
The notebook that we found on Peter Carey's cabin floor.
did we just leave it there for him to take? From R. Dawson to my friend and partner, 1883. Do I need to... Yeah, I do.
And
There we go.
partner, 1883.
Ugh.
From R. Dawson. To my friend, Dawson. I've seen this name before. Perhaps my archive holds the answer.
Oh, and then we
A
took the ring.
handkerchief with the initials JHN.
Consistent.
Pocket knife. It was used to force the door of Peter Carey's cabin.
And it has been absolutely brutalized. Look at it. What a monster. What's in the jar? Are we going to talk to him now? Do I need to close the door? Morgue? I don't think I have any business in the morgue right now. Inspector Lestrade.
Mr. Holmes?
Hello. Oh, that's not where my guy is. There you are. Okay, so I just noticed that I am over time, which is great. For once, the episode slipped by without me noticing. Come back and see me again in episode 2, and we will interrogate this young man who is very cruel to his pocket knife and whose hands look like he might have monkeypox. Talk to you soon.